Okay, let's move on towards day 2, game 1, first half of ORC versus Guards. We're going to be able to see Peter here coming out first 2 bans. Seems like we will be more or less going for the Seer and the Coordinator. Seer Coordinator first ban. Seems like Peter wants to go for Opera Singer here, so we just keep that in mind. Seer Coordinator, Opera Singer first pick. But I do think, you know, okay, Female Dancer coming out, fair enough. Female Dancer counters both the Opera and the Ivy. Opera and Ivy. Gardener here though, on the other hand, kind of counters Ivy, but then like second chase not so much. So then female dancers not female dancer. Gardener's mainly for Opera. Psycho here next ban. You see, the issue with Psycho here next ban, we're going to be able to pick up the first officer in which it counters both Ivy and Opera. So Opera and Ivy, it both counters. The only big issue here is, right, Peter definitely has an Ivy as well, but he's banning as if he wants to play Opera Singer. And we're going to ban the Aeroplanist last here, just so we don't have a double tightener. For the Survivor side, Puppeteer, preferably speaking, will be for the best. We could try Run Puppeteer. Or we could try another fast decoder like Lawyer. Lawyer generally speaking works against both Opera and Ivy. Lawyer honestly works really well against both Opera and Ivy. Unless we want to play it safe with Lucky Guy, then it could possibly work with the, you know, Pocket Watch Lucky Guy, but it's still a bit, you know, still a little bit chancy, orangey, gambling. Gambly. That's the word I was looking for. But for Kazuneko right here, we're going to be able to choose an Acrobat here last pick. Acrobat last pick in mind. I'd say more or less we are trying to look for fourth stop play. So Acrobat in mind, we're trying to play some fourth stop shenanigans, but even with the fourth stop on mind, maybe... sorry, not fourth stop, this is Arms. Oh my god, it's Arms Factory. Oh my god, it's Arms Factory. I should have checked the maps first. Sorry, it's Arms Factory. My bad. But then, yeah, it would make sense to play Acro then if it's Arms Factory. Okay. If it's Arms Factory, it makes sense. If it's Arms Factories, it makes sense. My goodness me. But with that in mind, Acro here being chosen, I'd say more or less 2 tighteners kind of necessary here, so we're gonna probably go Gardener with Tide and Knee Jerk Reflex, and KJ Knee Jerk Reflex. Female Dancer most likely with Knee Jerk Reflex as well, followed up by the Acrobat. But of course, Acrobat can also bring a Tightener. It just depends on how the Survivor really plays here. But it seems like for Peter here, Peter decided to bring out his Ivy main as well, since Akka played really well on day 1. Seems like for Peter, he also wants to shine a little bit here with Ivy. But Team Comp Boys is gonna be Ivy playing against Opera Singer, Female Dancer, Gardener and Acrobat. Gardener, it is potential. Gardener has potential against Ivy. Gardener has huge potential against Ivy. You have a 5-second bubble, and Fear is only 3 seconds. So if you time it correctly, everything works out well, but that's only if you time it correctly, of course. Now then, area selection mode we go. We're going to be able to see Hamatu here spawning outside of Shack, near the big rock, near the trash can. The cipher machine where the trash can is. Kazuneko in middle as the Acrobat. Meanwhile, first officer is gonna spawn in the entrance to Emperor Ruins, and then Dolisu here, female dancer, is gonna spawn actually inside factory. But with the factory spawning side here, the cipher machine will be locked if Peter decides to spawn near towards the big rock corner. I would more or less call that the dead corner, because there's not a lot of things for you there to contain with. But you know, for Dolisu here, it's most likely gonna, for female dancer here, it's most likely gonna be triple slow music box or double slow music box being deployed near this area, just for whichever survivor needs to go and rotate into. So then Peter will have a really hard time to get a survivors down. But of course, this only applies if we didn't get a first hit before blink just yet, and it also forces Peter out of the blink. But I guess for Peter right now, what we are gonna be focused on is using our main body to probably go towards this direction, and then for our little phantom form to go towards this area, locking Hamatu, and then most likely locking the Acrobat teleporting to, let's say, female dancer, because female dancer is probably the best course of, well, no, female dancer is not a bad pick for a chase. But Acrobat also is going to be really easy for you to actually play around with the screams for Peter. Peter is going to run instant attention alongside with Blink. We're going to be able to see a double window speed boost here, triple tie turner. So in a nutshell, Gardner doesn't have borrowed time. Okay then, Acrobat also has tie turner without containability. But it seems like for Ivy right here, we are gonna be moving both the body and the phantom and the soul towards middle. We don't really see where Kazuneko is. It seems like we barely escaped the clutch of it all. Meanwhile, Shinami hiding as well. Hamato is the gardener who is decoding there immediately, but with the gardener decoding immediately there, I genuinely think it's actually fine. We did get the leech on there immediately though, but with the leech being dropped back immediately, probably we're gonna go after Hamato the moment the bubble disappears, because the bubble is the only issue right now for the survivors. Not for the survivor, for the opera singer. We are going to be able to get 100% stack on towards the Acrobat, but it seems like right now we've basically done our job. Dar Gardener might get screamed at, but we're just going to have to see how this goes. Gardener is still currently on the run. We did get 40 stack on towards Hamato there as well, but with the red light trick there being displayed, very nicely done by Peter, that's going to be an immediate hit here for the Gardener. Gardener did get leeched, but even with Gardener being leeched here, I would say it wouldn't really be an issue for the Gardener. Gardener being able to get a teleportation over, that's going to be a scream as well. But the scream in mind, seems like we're going to be able to get the blink open there immediately. Very nicely done. Kazuneko there with the body block. But now the only issue is we need to heal, and Gardener needs to contain right now. As long as Gardener can contain, anything can happen here. We did get a 49 stack on towards the Gardener. We have to be a little bit more careful here as well. We're still looking at Ivy, 61 stacks here on Ivy, 67. Can Gardener get her bubble out? I wonder. Preferably speaking here, if we can't, that'll be for the best, but if we can't as well, it's just going to be one screen potential, and there is Gardener down. A little bit unfortunate there. Acrobat still hasn't been healed just yet. Acrobat half healed. It's going to be a little bit of a scary situation. We did get 3 hits there, but because of Insolence, we're currently at max presence. Okay then, with that in mind, we're currently trying to go outside to look for where Acrobat is, but it seems like we can't really find anyone just yet. Kazuneko here currently at the Cypher Machine, furthest away from Shaq. Meanwhile, if we can get the lock here, we did get the lock here, throw it back, and then throw it back out here once again. Potentially speaking, we could teleport out to force the survivors from to force them to rescue, but Peter there with the scream, just trying to see where first officer is. First officer is getting a normal hit right there. Hamato currently on the run, but then Nostalgic is on Gardener here though, so I guess in this point of view, that's still going to be the normal hit registered on towards our Gardener. Are we going to go for Shinami here? I wonder. It seems like we aren't actually wanting to go after Shinami here, but with Shinami here on mine, we're going to be able to get the leech, and it seems like we are going to be looking around here for nearby areas to be in. First officer at 70. Okay, it's going to go slowly down to, oh god, it's going to go back up to 70, 80, 90, 100 stacks. Teleportation out here possibly. No, we won't be doing that anytime soon. Cypher Machine decoding progress in a nutshell isn't enough. Female Dancer did manage to heal Acrobat, but we've only one Cypher Machine done in this case, scenario 2. Did we get the scream? We did not get a scream, but it seems like for Gardener right here, we're going to be able to get a teleportation over anyways. That's going to be 100% stacked, but the good news is we got the bubble out just on time. Gardener's still within the same area though, that kind of is the big issue, so Hamato here with barely anything left to do. Ouch. With barely anything left to do. Ouch. The timing there was really brilliantly done by Hamato. The timing there was 100% brilliantly done by Hamato. You can't you cannot brush over that fact. But with the link on here straight towards Dolisu. Dolisu 27 stacks. With 27 stacks more or less, I would say right now is maybe we can get a teleportation over, because then we have the corruption of transference ready right now. Acrobat did manage to do a no damage rescue. Acrobat also at the same time 60 stacks. As I was saying as well, if you see the teleportation coming out, you probably should hold on to the ball and then jump out, just so you won't be able to get that 100% stack immediately right after teleportation. But it seems like from a survivor's point of view, they think a little bit different. Middle Cypher Machine here currently at 82%. Acrobat did get hit there as well. But what really matters right now is for the other survivors to actually meet up and heal. But also at the same time, first officer might have consumed that pocket watch a tiny bit too early. Oh, we teleported wrong. Just a little tiny bit too early. Why? Because you could potentially wait for the leech first and then use the pocket watch. That was what I would recommend. But that's still going to be the scream there anyway. Female dancer getting a normal hit. That's 3 survivors at half health. Now it's just going to be more or less of a Cypher controlling game here from the hunter's point of view. But even with the hunter's point of view here on mind, we are gonna have to wait just a little bit longer. We're trying to see where Acrobat is. We do have tinnitus. Here is the footprints here left behind by, not Acrobat, but the first officer teleportation over here immediately, and that's gonna be a scream. First officer goes down. Cypher machine decoding progress wise, we have 2 Cypher machines here at 80% on average, and the last Cypher machine on 58%. Female dancer trying to finish that Cypher machine as fast as we can, but I don't think it's gonna be possible here from the survivor's point of view anymore to actually stop decoding and just healing instead. Female dancer here, a little bit of a scary situation. It's going to be a blink down follow up immediately, and we can share the female dancer. Most likely go back for the first officer. Acrobat did pop off his Cypher machine there as well, so we kind of do know where Acrobat is. It seems like right now we're using both the Phantom form and our main form to see if there's tinnitus anywhere, since Phantom form travels a little bit faster. Etienne here trying to look around for the nearby survivors, but there's actually no one nearby. First officer just about to go after half. And with that after a half on mind though, female dancer on the 79% self-heal progress. There's going to be no one in factory right now, but even if there's no one in factory, we do see that there's tinnitus here coming from the Acrobat. That Cypher machine will be popped, not just not yet, but it will be popped by female dancer. Last Cypher machine 58%. We're trying to look for the one-man escape, but all what it takes is for one teleportation. And that's honestly speaking it. Okay, we decided to leech on, but we didn't teleport. That's great for the survivors, but for Ivy it's even better. Doesn't make any difference because like for Ivy, right? For Ivy, all what she needs to make sure is that 2 Cypher machines are actually close towards each other, because in this case scenario, Ivy can just use the Phantom form to go towards the Cypher machine that's the furthest away to lock it, and then you use your main body to camp the 2 Cypher machines we've seen here in Shack 2. But female dancer did get a needle. We're trying to heal here as fast as we can. We should be able to get the heal here, says 666. So we didn't see female dancer. That's a bit unfortunate. That's going to be the full heal there on female dancer. It's not a scream. There's no fear stacked during the teleportations. It's just still in cooldown. Corruption of transference not being able to be applied here, but also still at the same time we are looking at where female dancer is. We did manage to get the teleportation out here once again towards the next artifact. Acrobat here currently at half health. Preferably speaking, we want to get the Acrobat down as fast as we can, just because it only takes 1 hit and there's 26 seconds left until our Blink is ready. So why not? Why not, right? We're just trying to wait slowly for Blink here as well. 20 seconds left on the clock for the transference. But I think we want to save Blink for female dancer. It seems like we want to save Blink here for female dancer. Acrobat, we're just going to use the corruption of transference for extra 40 stack of fear on towards the survivors. There is currently no survivors near this area. Kazuneko here currently getting linked up, but we don't have max presence. The corruption of transference utilized right there, but our Acrobat as well. He did jump out a little bit early, but that's also because there's nothing you can do in that situation, I guess. Okay, then Acrobat goes down here immediately. No self-heal here, and of course you can only self-heal up to 60%. So even if female dancer here comes in, it probably wouldn't be enough for the Acrobat at all. We are going to speed this up here by a little bit because it seems like it's going to end up as a 4-man elimination, so we'll be playing on twice the speed. Etienne going straight to where Dolisu is. That's going to be the immediate link, and that's going to be a normal hit. Blink is not ready because it was used on Acrobat. And with that in mind, we still do see where Dolisu is. And with our main body here as well, seems like we would be able to catch up here pretty fast too. And with that in mind, that's going to be teleportation over, and female dancer goes down. Let's congratulate the formal elimination here for Peter, moving on towards second half. Peter looking pretty happy there. Okay, moving on straight towards second half. It seems like ZETA finally decides to actually put Alf as a round 1 hunter instead of a round 2 and round 3. We're going to be able to see Seer and Puppeteer coming out here for Al's first 2 bands, so we'll just circle that up first, and it's going to be followed up by your Acrobat and the Coordinator. Acrobat and Cordy right here. Next one will be Psychologist. Most likely, like, Barmaid here would work. I would use Barmaid. I honest be to God would use Barmaid, but it seems like we're gonna follow up by Cheerleader just so we can give the item CD. Let me draw this properly. Just so we can give the item CD refresh on towards the Acrobat. Mercenary here will be the second, will be the last band. It has to be First Officer here then from City. First Officer is kind of a no-brainer pick here from the Survivor side, especially with how well it does actually counter Opera Singer. And even if you do use the Pocket Watch early, you still get a 7% decoding boost here. So with that in mind, it seems like we have successfully switched roles. Mono P here on Cheerleader, meanwhile Acrobat is with Rowley. So Bob's going to be playing Coordinator, and of course City on the First Officer here as well. Going to be locking the talents here. For talent wise, preferably speaking, most likely it should be the Tide Turner. Well, Tide Turner on City here, so City should be with Tide Turner. And then I'd say Acrobat needs Windows speed boost. Acrobat is a necessity for Windows speed boost. Same as Cheerleader with knee-jerk reflex as well, which is basically the same thing. Coordinator here probably with Window and Tide is what I'm saying. It's a bit safer here for Cordy to run Window and Tide. Preferably speaking, we want as much Tide Turners as possible, but if we don't, then Flywheel would be nice. Let's just say Flywheel would definitely be nice. From Zeta side, I guess it's gonna be, yeah, Ivy. Just has to be Ivy here. So Arms Factory with Ivy. It's not the worst to play, but it's also not the best map for Ivy, but you know what, we'll have to see how it goes. Survivor spawn location wise, it's going to be Rowley here spawning in Emperor Runes. Soba is actually going to be in not two-story factory right now. Meanwhile, you do see the Cheerleader in middle. No, where are we going to spawn, guys? Okay, so Cheerleader is going to spawn. Okay, this is an interesting spawn. Very, very interesting spawn. Okay. Alf is gonna spawn towards the bottom. So Alf is gonna spawn near Big Gate Runes, so Factory Gate Runes. So that's the Factory Gate, and there's a runes there, I guess. But with this in mind, are we gonna be looking for Soba first, or are we gonna be looking for Mono P first? I'd say more or less. I generally would say more or less. What possibly could be the way to do is for you to actually go after, well, if Alf goes after Cordy, it wouldn't work, because if Cordy manages to time the gun and the fear properly, then it's gonna be one miss hit here for Alf, which is really bad, especially if you do decide to bring excitement here as well. More or less, I'd say probably Cheerleader first chase. We're probably going to pull our main body towards Coordinator and then chase after Cheerleader or something. That's what I personally think would happen. But anyways, onto the persona points. We go Survivor side, Cheerleader knee-jerk reflex, Acrobat knee-jerk reflex, alongside with Coordinator knee-jerk reflex. We're going to be able to see First Officer here with a Tide Turner, Alf running Incident's attention, followed up by a blink on towards this Opera Singer here as well. With Opera Singer on the blink, more or less, we are going to have to see how fast we can actually get this down. But if we can't get it down fast enough, I'd say there is a chance for well, even if you get it down fast enough, Ivy still does have endgame as well, so Ivy has so much to do throughout the whole game. Let's move on towards the game then. It seems like Phantom 4 will be going straight towards middle. We want to look for first. We're probably going to teleport towards First Officer first, is what I'm thinking, personally speaking. But that is an Eskin here on towards the First Officer. That's going to be ETM being grabbed back immediately from Shadow's hand. But even with this in mind, it seems like it's 34 seconds. We are going to be able to see the blink, and with the blink here, that's going to be a very beautiful beautiful fear stack. And now then, it's going to be a slowly but surely catch up here. We're just trying to get another 40 stack. But if you do decide to get the 40 stack here, it might be a little bit harder. Cordy needs the gun. Cordy needs the gun. Please, Cordy, you do have the gun. Cordy has the gun. I'd say Cordy guns here and then looks at Opera and looks at Ivy. Cordy, gun, and look at Ivy. Gun and look at Ivy. Okay, we did blink. Alf didn't blink right there, but we're gonna blink open anyways. Okay, Soba timed that really well. Very nicely done by Soba. So it's either you gun and then you it's either you gun and then you what again, and then you force the max fear stacks, or you do dash. So Soba there, I don't know whether that was, I think he did it on purpose, but that's going to be 63 stacks there on towards Soba. Soba on the other hand, the next fear stack should be able to get us down. We're currently looking, that's no fear just yet, no fear just yet. We're going to be, oh, we didn't get the fear there, sadly. Alf didn't get the fear. We did get the pallets done. Nicely done by the coordinator. And then with both Yetian and Shadow here chasing after. Ooh, didn't get hit right over the pallet. A little bit unfortunate. Still chasing after coordinator. Coordinator 100% stack. Coordinator goes down here immediately as well. It's still going to be Instance Tenure here, followed up by Max. Well, double pallet breaking, Cypher Machine Lock, and Berserk. 3 Cypher Machines going to be done here from the Survivor's point of view. We've already started our 4th and 5th Cypher Machine, so the last 2 Cypher Machine has already been started here as well. First Officer, more or less in this case scenario, we're waiting for Mono P to actually go towards the Cypher Machine first, and then we're going to bring it back. And right after the bring back, Soba seems, yeah, Soba can stay, so Coordinator actually stays on chair for quite a bit of time. I don't know if people knows, but Coordinator does stay on chair for 10% longer, if I'm not wrong. But with that in mind, we didn't get a scream. We are going to be able to get the rescue. Still managed to head towards the Coordinator right here, wanting the Terror Shock situation, but sadly, we didn't really get it. For Alf right now, still though, we're not doing that much map control. That might be a bit of an issue here. We're not doing that much map control for Monopi right now though. Still could be possible. We did get a scream over, but even with the scream over here on mine, that's going to be the leech here once again on towards the cheerleader. We are going to be able to finish 3 Cypher Machine. Another Cypher Machine here at 77%. Seems like Rowley is going to be making his way towards for the rescue. But that's just Rowley though. 77% Cypher Machine. I don't know who's decoding. Okay, no, it's the cheerleader decoding the 77% Cypher Machine on towards the back. And City here, one coming for the rescue once again because he did get a no damage rescue. Yeah, that's the big issue with no damage rescues, isn't it? We're going to be able to get the leech here, thankfully. We're going to wait. We're going to be able to get the rescue right here, and it should be a double down situation. Okay, should be a double down situation. We're going to hit down the first officer and chair the first officer, and then go out to look for Soba. That should be the way to go, Alf. Alf. Okay, that's fine, Alf. That's not fine, Alf. We should be cheering first. I genuinely do think we should be cheering first. We teleported Ron as well, but we forced a blink out. This is not good. I still feel like we should have cheered there. No matter what happens, we should have cheered there first. Just so right now in this case scenario, since no one came in to rescue first officer just yet, first officer definitely would go after half. But for Alf right now, Orsi got a 4-1 elimination last game. Orsi's gonna be able to get a tie game this game though. It should pop. Doesn't matter right now, just pop. Have some pop, nice pop. Okay, Monopi running straight towards the X gate right now. Monopi doesn't really have any gate decoding debuff here, but for our cheerleader's point of view right now as well, definitely seems like Cheerleader wants to go towards the X gate, but Cheerleader can't. Cheerleader should be a little bit more brave is what I would like to say, because the moment you get leech on there, you just immediately pump on away. You genuinely speaking just immediately pump on away. You don't play around with that area anymore, because like in that case scenario, Alf can't, even if Alf teleports, he can't get any he cannot get 100 stacks on you. So right now in this case scenario here, like the cheerleader has to be the one that's brave. Cheerleader, you have to be the brave one out here, unless we want to wait until the tension is over. It seems like waiting for the tension's over is going to be the survivors play right now. We're still currently waiting. We're going to drop something behind. But even if you do decide to drop something behind, that doesn't really matter. Alf using his main body to go towards the other side of the map right now. We do see the first officer nearby as well, but it's a first officer we're talking about. So, oh my god, first officer can open the gate just like that? No way, first officer can open the gate just like that. The other survivors are currently at the other exit gate here as well. But from first officer's point of view here, we are going to be able to get the leech soon. 10 seconds left on towards the next pocket watch is ready. That's going to be the teleportation over. That's going to be first officer there as well. But it seems like we screamed a little bit too early. 2, 1, a pocket watch! Oh wait, the charge attack hit the register! The charge attack hit the register! Wait a second! City's gonna go for the 3-man escape on towards Ivy. Wow! Moving on straight towards Game 2.